Hello, everyone. Jeff Kirby here, Philly member costumer with JMK Costuming and Show Design. We put up our String Band Sunday video yesterday. Hegeman String Band from 1992. One of the most subtle, greatest shows written in String Band history. And I still don't think I'm going somewhere with this. I still don't think people really understand the genius behind that show yet. And here we are, how many years later? 30, whatever. Never fails. Fralinger should have won. No, they shouldn't have. Fralinger should not have won in 1992. And if you understood show writing and criteria, you would know this. So your responses should be, I wish Fralinger had won, or I thought Fralinger should have won that parade. I wish Fralinger won, whatever. Not Fralinger won that parade because they didn't. They didn't do it. And if I can find some time to do it, I'll do a breakdown between the two shows and point out why Hegeman won that parade. But everything about that show, as I put my little write-up yesterday, was on target, on point. From the musical arrangement, the way it was played, with such finesse, especially for 1992. Played brilliantly, and as far as I know, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, I think that was the first year where like musical dynamic started playing a role in the scoring. And for that first year, I mean, they blew dynamics out of the water, probably better than we're seeing today, over 30 years later. Drill-wise, I mean, I could break down that drill for the next 2 hours if you wanted me to. As I said, it was subtle genius. Seamless. Every aspect of that show was seamless. I'm sitting here thinking, should I do a little verbal breakdown of why Fralinger did not win that show? Of course, Fralinger had incredible costuming that year. Powerhouse. Hegeman was a powerhouse too. But Fralinger came at you full bore musically. But Fralinger had that dead air. They had dead air. The intro, I guess they were kind of balanced out. Hegeman had that bell feature at the beginning that really set the tone for the entire show. And then, of course, Fralinger came in with those drums, with the chanting. So I think they were right neck to neck with the intro work. When you do a show, you have to fit what you do to what you're doing. And this is a problem with what's happening today. This is why bands are... They're beating themselves today because they're trying to mimic what other bands are doing. We saw one band this year. They literally kind of did a mashup of Quaker City's movie theme and the theme from the year before when Quaker did the fruits, the Cuban, the mask, and then they did a different theme with it. But they used the same template. You can't do that and expect to score well. You have to fit your show, your music, your drill, choreography, movement, interactions. All that has to fit the show you're trying to present. I've mentioned this before. That's the era we're in right now with string bands. It's copy paste, and that's why nobody's moving up. They've also segregated the string band division into 3 different competitions, essentially. But back then, Fralinger did the Native American theme. They stayed on the Native American path. Hegeman did the Harlem theme. They stayed on the Harlem path, right? Both greatness in 2 different separate ways. Where Fralinger kind of lost it was when the guys came out with the paddles. They just stood there for how many seconds? Nothing was happening. Nothing interesting at all. And that's when the judges were able to relax, sit back, and kind of think for a second. And that's when you're done. That's when you're cooked. You give those judges a second to kind of think for a second, you're done. You're absolutely done. You've got to hold interest for the whole show. And then I mentioned that sax lick at the end of the show for Hegeman. It was so laid back and relaxed, and it puts you on the corner of a New York City block back in the 20s with that lick to end the show. And what Fralinger did at the end was they wailed a note, and they had some altos that were playing really high notes that were way out of tune. That's your last impression. So Hegeman won that. Yeah, I would think that it kind of just came, and then people trash on the Hegeman suits from that year. They were tuxedos. Fit the theme. But no, Hegeman won that year. No questions asked. So let's put that debate to rest. All right. I think that's all I have for now. Yeah, I'd like to do a breakdown of that if I can find the time. I'm going to get back to making this suit for the costume contest, and we'll be bringing you more videos. I'm a little behind on this because, anyway, yesterday's plans went longer than I thought. So, yeah, that's it. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.